All right, welcome to my channel. So the first thing that you need to know before you start watching my videos is the purpose of this channel is for education and entertainment, mostly education with some entertainment, and mostly for my students. Really, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my algorithm and for my students to see it working and me to be able to talk about the trades and why I'm taking the trades and things like that. This is not a channel where I'll be showing you that I'm making millions of dollars. So family rules, you won't be seeing that. Some traders out there want to put their stuff out. I don't even know why they do that. Like on social media in a public sphere, hey, look at me, I made 20,000 today, 50,000 today, all that stuff. That will not happen on this channel. The most you'll see me making here is anywhere from 50 bucks to $1,000 in a day would be the most once we get to that level of scaling. And then I'll reset and we'll be looking at 50 bucks and we'll be scaling back to, a thousand a day or so. And we'll just keep resetting that scaling. But family rules will not be showing you on this my social media that I'm making tons of money. Second thing is I'm trading with Thinkorswim. That's my platform that you see here on the screen. So you got my two windows on futures trading. Same thing. It'll be Thinkorswim. So you'll see that I trade futures and the equities market with these videos. I trade based off of my algorithm, the simple switch algorithm, and it's got different settings. Same algo, but different settings for futures market, for equities market, and different types of trading. It's got different settings for it. So I'll be trading off that. Links below if you're interested in learning more about the algo. All the education over there is free, as well as the trading log that you'll see. You can get the link below, which will give you that log, so you can go over there and explore all that stuff. So when you're looking at my screen, okay, and when you're looking at my screen, you'll see these the chart markups, and you'll see yellow. Wherever I put yellow is an entry. So when it's yellow like this, it's the algo ideal entry. And then you may see a yellow like this, and that is where I actually got in, and it'll be touching the candle that I got in on. And then the location. Red are my stops, green are my targets. And then if you want to learn how the algo works so you can better understand what I'm doing when I'm doing my trades, over at the link below, you can go over there and learn all about the algo. It's completely free for that whole education. It's free to learn about my trading plan, my strategy, everything that I teach about trading is free over there. Only thing that costs money is if you decided to buy the algo, then that would cost money. But you can apply a lot of the stuff that I teach over there, including my strategy and trading plan, to your own strategies and help maybe improve your game. So all that is definitely free. I don't charge for any of that education. Only the algo if that's something you decided to add to your list. So then sometimes you'll see on here me doing experiments, which I'm going to try to do another one later on this year when I get a little more time. But I love to do trading experiments. We blow up accounts, but we do it in the purpose of education, showing you that certain trading techniques or strategies sometimes just don't work. And we play with some different concepts and blow up accounts, real accounts, small accounts, but still real accounts. And you'll also see some small accounts as well, like when we do offshore brokers and things like that. So, and then of course, educational videos I'll be putting out as well. So there's a lot of different content here. So if you can give me the like, hit the like button, that would help me a lot with the YouTube. And if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified whenever I upload new content. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is trading is very risky. Do not place a trade based on what you see here or whatever I say. I'm not telling you what to do. If it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, it's me just thinking out loud. And most traders will lose all of their money. I am strictly speculating. I do not have a crystal ball. So, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So please do not take financial advice from me. This is strictly to talk about how I trade, to teach about how I do things, and for your entertainment. All right, so now the legal stuff is out of the way. Let's get into today's trades. Good morning, everybody. It is May 17th, Monday. So we got QCOM on deck here, 128.53, 128.93. So about 40 cents. I'm going to go put that in the calculator, actually. Let's see. Risk reward is at $150 right now. I'm not sure if I want to trade QCOM with this tower candle that keeps showing up, but we'll see what happens here. 0.4, so 375 is what we're looking at. And I got some exciting news to tell you about at the end of this video. I cannot wait. And today could have been epic already, but I blew it. but we'll still share some exciting news for all you, especially if you're my students or you're trading the same portfolio as I am. You definitely want to stay tuned for what I got to say. Okay, so looking at QCOM here, we got a tower candle on the switch, and you can see the SPY. Look at that massive rejection. So I'm going to avoid this on the switch, and I'm going to trade it on the switch back, and then we'll jump in then. We are overextended down here, but we are, look at that big rejection, and we know from previous videos I've showed you that this likes to follow the SPY or the MES. So APPS looked like it was wanting to switch, but getting rejected now. This is why I don't trade unless it's confirmed, traders, because, you know, I can say I think it's going to switch, but a lot of times it'll do this. It'll want to switch, but it just doesn't. So, and when it doesn't, there's no trade. So I wait for the confirmation. And then we got a couple seconds left. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're in on APPS. We have our switch. We got permission. We're good. A little bit of a tower candle here. All right, so we are going to speed bump that. If I can get it in time. I should have had it set up as a speed bump, but I didn't. Come on, retrace a little bit. Retrace a little bit. Oh man, this is gonna be a bummer. Look at that loss, 629 for the day. Oh no. And I didn't put it as a speed bump. Oh, look at that. We would have recovered most of it already. Can't chase it though. Can't chase it, traders. I want to, but can't. It's just the way it is. So I'll mark up my speed bump. If it already went through to the target, then it's just screwing up today. It's right here. Yeah, already went through all the targets. All right, traders, would have recovered that loss had I had that set up as a speed bump. That would be zeroed out, but I blew it, and now I got a massive loss of 629 today. So it looks like it's going to be one of those days. I can't try to revenge trade. I can't try to get it all back. I just have to take my loss and you know, slowly get it back. I screwed up some stuff this morning too, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit. So it looks like, yeah, it's just going to be one of those days for me. And we'll slowly dig out of this hole. That's massive. That's going to set us way back on the scaling ladder. Very frustrating. All right, we'll see what happens with our next trades. Maybe we'll recover some of that today. We'll see. But I'm only going to trade what the algorithm tells me. I'm not going to just start trading for the sake of trying to get money back. Man, I played this so stupidly. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so here we are with CVS. It's switching, so I already got my share size in. And part of me is like, don't even trade. Just shut it down, call it a day, come back tomorrow, and start again because I'm having a rough morning. But it doesn't mean that this isn't going to be a winner. I mean, the algo is giving me a trade on the switchback. And if I miss out on this trade, then I'm going to eat this entire loss for today when I could recover a bunch of it on an algo play, like a legit recovery. And it's going to take a few trades to recover that 620. So I don't want to miss out on them. But at the same time, if I do have a loser, I guess it just adds to the bad day, you know. So, but we're going for it because the algo is telling me. So we got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're in on CVS. Mark it up. And then we're going to put our stop in with a speed bump. We got 450 shares, so 900. Gonna make it break that candle. All right, there we go. So we're in. So yeah, we'll see if we can get a little bit back. Or does it just keep going downhill? All right, so here we are, almost to the target with CVS. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my my stop up to break even. Do I want to sell when we get to the target? No, I want $600, but I want to erase this red day. But I have to because that's the plan, right? I have to plan my trade and trade my plan, and that's just the way it is. So we got a 4-cent spread. Alright, so basically got our break even. I don't know, we might get stopped out if I do this. Because this candle could retrace. We've had a good little run here. 1, 2, 3, 4 big candles. Just barely hit that target. Alright, let's be smart. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Nope, that's not what I want to do. What's happening here? What's going on here? Oh, I have 400. Oh, I got 900 here. Oof. Not being smart today, traders. Not being smart today. All right, so we're going to leave our stop back down here. Okay, we got a switch in QCOM now. So the MES still doesn't look great, to be straight with you. So I think I'm just going to avoid QCOM. You know, it might be a good trade, but it follows the SPY and the MES, and it's making me a little nervous. All right, I'm going to trade QCOM. I'll speed bump it if not, and then we'll probably be good to go. So we're looking at 128.09 and 128.61, so about 50, 60 cents, 300 shares. All right, QCOM, we're going to trade you, and we'll see what happens. We got a couple minutes left. So again, traders, so I don't get in unless it actually switches. You know, I don't anticipate it and say I'm going to get in. It looks like it's going to switch. I wait, because look, I was going to get in long here because it looked like it was going to switch, but then it didn't. And now look, you know, like here, look at that big move down. I would have lost on all of that. So, and this could be another one. I don't know, but I got to wait for a switch to make the trade, even though right now I just want to trade and make my money back. Can't do that. I have to be smart. Okay, another switch setting up. So we'll just measure real quick. 128, roughly the same. So 300 shares. 10 seconds. Not a tower candle. Looking good. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're in. We're in on QCOM. So if CVS can hit for me, that would be awesome. If QCOM can hit for me, that would be awesome. And then I can get one or two more trades in today, which is possible, not likely with NUG. Looks like NUG is off to the races. And APPS could set up again, so we'll see what happens. Maybe we can recover a big part of today. Should put a stop in, huh? Man, I'm not thinking today. What are we at? 300, so we're going to go to 600. Buying power. Not enough buying power to fully speed bump this. All right, what do we got? 500? Okay, so APPS is giving us a second trade. The problem is I don't have enough buying power because it's all tied up in CVS and QCOM right now. So I can only afford 100 shares. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to get rid of all this other noise. CVS over here. Look at CVS. I'm not going to speed bump it because it was basically a winner. I should have been break even plus a few dollars on it, but I'm not trading properly today, traders. So that's what happens. So this should have been a green trade, and it looks like it's going to be a red trade, and I'm just going to add to my hole. QCOM's not going in the right direction either. So yeah. Just realized I didn't put a stop in for APPS. Yep, one of those days, traders, where you probably shouldn't trade. I don't have enough buying power. I can't even speed bump this. I don't have enough buying power. What? All right. All right. Well, I guess we'll just get out. So QCOM, we're breaking through the target right now, so we're going to cancel these two orders. 300 shares. What do we got up here? 450. See, at least I was smart enough to look and see that. And then, all right, QCOM, go ahead and push through there. What do we got? 10 seconds, yeah, this thing's going to retrace. So just going to go ahead and put my stop in at 14. All right, so we almost got a full trade out of it. We'll see if this boosts. Great. If it retraces like I expect, then all good. We'll get out close to 150. All right, cool. We're boosting. So what was our price target here? 129.23. All right, so we got our target. Pretty awesome. All right, so this could be good. Let's go, QCOM. Boost, boost, boost. Give me a double. Give me 300. APPS sell off. Give me my 100. Oh no, what a losing day. But now I can speed bump it. All right, so we sold out of here just in time. 139, better than nothing. Speed bumping APPS, and then 57.31 is our stop, and then we're done with APPS unless another setup happens. 57.31. All right, so maybe we'll recover that. CVS, what are you doing? Man, it's so close right here. Yep, just not trading good today, traders. Okay, so we're speed bumped now in CVS. Should have been a winner today. And now we're basically struggling just to break even. So the reason why I only speed bump once, I don't keep on speed bumping because it could be in a choppy session. It could be consolidation and chop. Like I see APPS right here. So if I keep on speed bumping that, I just get chopped up. So I end up losing a ton of money. So I only speed bump once. It just works out better for me over the long run with the numbers game. And right now we are speed bumped to go short on CVS and to go long on APPS. And they're doing the opposite. Oh man, it's one of those days. From bad to worse. All right, we'll see what happens. Not over yet. And the only reason why I took APPS twice and speed bumped it twice, I think, I don't even know why I did anymore. My brain's already turned off. Is because it's set up twice. So for each setup, I'll speed bump it one time, and that's it. And we got 2 setups, so that's why we did what we did. All right, so something just happened. Do we have a trade somewhere? What just happened? All right, so I guess one good thing happened today. I'm like, what is that noise? What just happened? We hit our target with our futures trade, so we jumped in here, red light, green light. We had a short. We entered right here, and then we just hit our target on that. So at least we got a winning trade in the futures market. Red light, green light, picked up 78 bucks there. Let's go back to our losing equities market. Man, I'm gonna get speed bumped. I'm gonna get canceled on APPS, not speed bumping it. Although if it breaks down through here, I might get back in. I don't know. We'll see what happens. CVS going the wrong way. I mean, look at this. I'm short over here and long over here. What is happening? Oh my gosh. Man. All right, traders. Looks like we're going to get stopped out on CVS for a pretty big loss on CVS as well. Man, this day is just going from bad to worse. All right, so we're out on CVS, and it wasn't even a trade because I pretty much hit this target here, so the trade was pretty much over. Should have been out break even. This really wasn't speed bump material because the trade was successful. You know, speed bump is a successful trade just because I turn a green trade to a red trade. And as a result, you know, that's what happens. So only speed bump losers. And this was a winner and I speed bumped it. And now I got a bigger loser. So, yeah. But APPS is a legit speed bump. So we'll see. We'll see if this will give me back a little bit. But it's just turned out to be a bad day, everybody. This is how accounts get blown up in a day. One bad thing snowballs to another. You make bad decisions because of what's already happened. And then those bad decisions make bad things happen, which makes you make even more bad decisions. And then eventually you get to the point that you're like, screw it, I don't care. I'm just all in. I'm either going to blow up my account or recover. Like, that's the attitude that happens. And then the account blows up. Fortunately, I have enough experience to be sad about today, but still stick to the plan. So for the most part, I mean, I just broke it here with CVS, but at least I'm doing it in my demolition is a controlled demolition. So I'll have a bad day, but I won't have a blow up day. And my last trade is this APPS. So if whatever happens, APPS happens. Like the most I'm going to lose today is another $100 basically on APPS, and then my days, I'm free. I'm free from the misery. So and I know I'm not going to blow up my account losing another $100. So that's basically the worst that can happen to me right now, I think, unless something weird happens, like this gets halted and something weird happens. But for the most part, that's what we're looking at. All right, so we're close to risk on APPS with this speed bump. I'm going to add another 100 shares now that I got a little bit of buying power. And then put that stop in right here. And if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. It's only going to cost me like an extra $10 or something. All right, so I decided I'm going to speed bump APPS. Looks like we'll also have another setup at the same time here, potentially. So if that happens, it looks like we'll have another setup. And we're breaking down through this channel that it's been in. So I think it'll be a good opportunity to get back in. But we'll see. We'll see what this thing does. All right, there it is, traders. Speed bumping APPS. Not really speed bumping. I'm closing out of that trade, and then a new setup has happened. We have permission here. We have our switch here. We're in with 200 shares, which is a little heavy for the risk reward of 150, but that's what we're in with. And we'll see how this plays out. All right, traders, so I'm going to do something that's probably a little bit on the stupid side. I'm going to go ahead and add 200 more shares to short on this retracement here as we're close to risking another $100 basically. It's all within the strategy, still an active trade, all good, following the rules. If I wasn't having a bad losing day today, this would be something I would look at doing anyway. So I'm going to try to not allow my emotions to get the best of me. So 67 is the number, so I'm going to put it down here to 64. 65. So, and let me cancel that order. Sorry. Go, get out. Cancel. This way it has to back up to get me out. And if it wants to keep climbing, then I don't get into it while it's climbing. So 67 will go. And then perfect. So if it backs up, we'll get in short. We'll add to our position. If it keeps climbing, we'll trail this up until we get stopped out completely up here. All right, so there we go. So now we're in with 400 shares. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stop in. I'm not going to speed bump this. I'm just going to call it a day, traders. 400. All right, traders. So there it is. We're stopped out of APPS. Oh, boy. What can you do but laugh? $1,200 loss. So normally my risk reward is right now it's $150, and if I speed bump it's 300, and I just lost 1,200. So at a risk reward of $150, that's how many trades is that to get that back? That's a ton of trades. It's at least probably 11 or 12 trades when you factor in some losers to go with it. So I didn't trade well today. That's why it's important to plan your trade your plan, and position sizing and stuff like that I talk about and show you. It's so important because one day where you let that get away from you and you can have a day like this, and this is just the one ticker. Like, oh man, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go for a walk and then I'll come back, show you the log. You know, we took a loss on CVS today as well, $348 in CVS. So basically, we're going to be down around $1,500 for the day, something like that. Then I had that win in QCOM, but anyway, yeah, this is disaster for today. I'm gonna go take a walk. Before I do that, I'm gonna go to something positive here and show you something a little positive, and then we'll do the log, and then I'll give you the good news, which doesn't feel so good after today. But I guess there's good news, and it's the silver lining that makes me feel a little bit better about today. So we'll bring all that to you here in just a second. All right, so this is WTI. So this is a swing trade that I alerted to my membership when it was back here or down here somewhere. So we ended up in at 357. So we got in right around here, and then we're off. We're off to a good start. It's looking pretty positive. Just got to get above this next little level here, and we'll be into the target. So that trade is doing nice for us today. $100 on today, 200 total. So that $100 will help my day not look so bad in the log. Actually, no, it's still going to look bad. But at least we got $100 back on the day. But the trade's not over, so I don't even count it. So anyway, that's WTI. And then what got alerted out today, and again, normally I don't show these until they're about to close, but I'm going to give this one out today. So this one is RAD. So we had some losers on RAD, and we had 2 losers on it. And it's got a really good success rate, but we had 2 in a row, which is very rare. But that makes me feel like the probability here is much higher that this will be successful. It just has to close above 1950, 1960 area. And if it can close around there, then we'll be good to go. I'll jump in this trade here at 355, and then we'll see how RAD does. But right now, there's our target, and then our stop is down here. I'll make that red right there. All right, so I'm going to stick around for 5 more minutes, place this trade, and then I'm going to go for my walk, and then I'll come back and show you the log, and we'll close out the day. All right, traders, so I got my, let's put my share size in here. Our risk is 271, so we're doing 100 shares based on the scaling ladder, actually 120 shares. All right, so our price, it's my alarm telling me it's time to trade, 355. And we are above 1950 as I alerted, so I'm going to go ahead and... All right, so now we're in with our 120 shares at 1965. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my entry here, change my color to yellow. Oh, didn't want to hit OK. Go back in, edit, 65. All right, so I'm in at 1965, and then I'm going to go put my OCO order in for my stop. Okay, so I got my OCO in, and I made sure that I put my GTC so this didn't cancel at the end of the day. It'll carry forward until this target's hit or until my stop is hit. That's it. I set this, forget it, don't have to worry about it. It'll text my phone when this trade concludes, and I can focus on other things. So yep, so there's that swing. I'll try to keep you updated on it, and we'll see how it goes. Man, what a bad day today was. All right, everybody, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, traders, so... still frustrated. All right, so here's the futures market. Red light, green light trade. We had our setup, our switch from green to red. Had permission with our dashes under our white line to short this thing. Shorted it, got our target, and now it's on its way back up. All good. We closed out our trade for $78. So pretty sweet. And then over in the log here for a futures market, I just put that in right there. So I really have not hardly traded at all in the futures market. I'm sorry about that for those of you, or at least not in my social media account. So for those of you who are really interested in the futures market, I'm going to try to do better about that and get you more futures trades that I can bring to you. But for May is lousy 90s. Look at this. This is terrible. When I trade, we make some money, but when you only trade like once in a great while, that's where we're at. So look, $78 for the week. Well, Monday, I guess it just started. So we're okay. Maybe we could get a couple hundred in there. All right. So I'm going to try to bring more futures to you. For the year, from barely trading in this account, we're up $936. The biggest thing is we're profitable traders. We're profitable. So a lot of traders are not profitable. At the end of the year, if you made $1, you did better than most traders out there. So we're doing good there. All right, now let's go back over to the depressing news. And then I'll give you some good news. But first, here we are at CVS. So CVS took a $348 loss. We almost hit our target. This is where I was supposed to put my stop and break even. And you can saw that I fumbled that, and then I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to put my stop back down here. And then we got stopped out, And it rallied back up without us. And hit the target right there. Of course it did. But there should have been a green trade. I should have been out right here, and it should have just been green and been done with it. But no, I had to stop out and speed bump it. And this isn't a speed bump for my students. Look, it almost hit the target. Stop the break even. That means it's a break even. Trade is over. Trade is over in a good way. Like, you should have made a couple bucks. Trade's done. Almost hit the target. Trade is over. Only time we speed bump it is if it doesn't almost hit the target and it rolls over, or you get in it, straight goes loser, right? That's the time to speed bump. That's when I speed bump it. Not like this. And when it doesn't coincide with tower candles, it's all the speed bump rules, right? But I didn't follow any of those, and I took a much bigger loss. So the $150 I should not, or more, almost 200 that I should not have lost today on this. Actually, 348 I should not have lost today because it should have been a green trade. So anyway, so that's CVS. So let's go over to NUG. No trade on NUG. Where are you now? Let's come to today. So that's a scalping trade I didn't take, but it would have been a nice winner. Actually, I had a bunch of them in here today, and my mind wasn't in it today, so I didn't take any of them. And there's a lot of scalping opportunities in NUG today I didn't take. So then we get into QCOM. All right, QCOM. So QCOM, we got our switch right here. So I wasn't going to take any of these. They were looking positive, possibly, but with the SPY and the MES just totally tanking this morning, I was like, no, wait. But anyway, we ended up with a trade. So later on, this was looking good. Everything was lining up. Jumped in, hit our target, good to go. Didn't get greedy, or this would have sold off here, and it would have been even worse on my day. But my position sizing wasn't great. I kind of just swung it in my head, and I didn't use my calculator, or this would have been a little better. But even then, I think it's just because I didn't quite get my target when I got out, so we ended up a little bit less. But either way, it's a green trade. Thank you, QCOM. And then APPS. It's my favorite tickers too, by the way. So APPS, we had our switch to the long side right here. We got permission, our switch, all good. Way too many shares on APPS. I did not use my calculator. Didn't even think about it. I planned my trade, did not trade my plan. And then when it speed bumped right here, or here, it would have been ideal, but even if I did it here because of the tower candle, I would have recovered my whole day and then some. Like, this was no brainer, green day. Like, we should have been green by at least $100 or more. But I didn't do that, and then that was a failed trade, so this is over. So then we come across here, and then we get another switch with permission. So I traded it, right? Which is, it's fine. It's part of the plan. And it came up, speed bumped me out, and was in consolidation mode. So I got chopped up there. And then we had another switch right here. And then I traded it. And I followed the rules. I got them with pretty close to the right position size. My thing is I didn't do well with position sizing today. This is my biggest failure today, is position sizing. And not taking the speed bump right here properly. Missing it. Didn't put my order entry in right. But look at this switch with permission off of a W, like consolidation. It's breaking down. Looks like this thing's failed. Comes back up, and then it's like, uh-oh. Had a whole bunch of opportunities to get out here with a little bit, but I don't want to get out before it hits the target. This is not a speed bump. Normal strategy. So it came all the way back up and got me out. Now, had I speed bumped this play, make sure I didn't. Had I speed, I would be still in right now, and APPS on the daily does not look good. So it probably would have been a benefit to stay in this thing. But had I speed bumped this thing right here, I could have recovered a huge chunk of what I just gave away. So but I didn't speed bump it. I didn't follow the rules to speed bump it at the end of the day because I didn't want to, like, 2 candles left. It's kind of scary. So get stuck in this thing and be in trouble. But yeah, so anyway, so that's where we're at. So APPS really beat me up bad because it didn't follow the rules. But let's go look at the log, and then I'm going to show you some really, really great news, especially if you're following my portfolio. And if you are following my portfolio, hopefully you had a green day today for the most part. Like, if you traded well today, you had a green day, and I had a red day. All right, and here's the bad thing is when you have a big red day like this on a day where you should have a small red day or a green day, these red days are coming. Like, when you follow all the rules and you trade perfectly, these days are going to happen. So when you have these on good days, it's totally setting yourself up to get smashed when you have a bad day on top of these. Like, tomorrow could be that bad day, compounding. That's how it works, right? Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it will. We'll see. All right, let me show you the log, and then we'll talk about the good stuff. All right, let's click over to day trades. Ooh, one $1,400 loss today. So I took a lot of trades today, traders, like a lot of trades. So I didn't feel like entering all those trades in today, just not in the mood. So I just entered in my averages. Thinkorswim's got a little button you click on average, and it tells you what your share sizes were and your averages and stuff like that. So I just went off of that, which actually matched up to the loss properly. Put a bunch of notes in here for the day, so when I look back I can, like at the end of the year when I'm like, what was my bad days and stuff, I can kind of remember that. And then I of course have these videos to pull up as well. So not good there. Let's go over to dashboard. So and then we are in that trade WTI, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and enter that in here right now. So May 17th. Not WTI. Well, we're already in WTI, but now we're in RAD at, what do we enter RAD at? Let's go look real quick. RAD, we got in at 1644. Is that right? Yeah. 16. What do we get into RAD at? RAD 1965. 1965. All right. So that's in there. So now we're down $200 on the month. We were up. Nice, right? It was like $1,000 a month so far. And one day, bam, just gave it all away just like that. But when you look at the account totals, we're still green on the year. So our year's still looking good. On the day trading account, we're still green on the year. Not by a lot, but we're still green. And then futures, we're green. And, swing trading, we're green. So we're green on the year on all accounts. We're making money, traders. It's just a bad day. Just a day. So let's go over to the scaling ladder, which is more important to me right now. Oh, no. Well, I was excited. We were all the way down here in the 150 range. A few more focused trades. We'd be in the $500 range. And in the $500 range, it's off to the races, right? And for me, personally, so you guys know what's in my head, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I was looking to get to the $500 range, fill up this $1,000 range, and then shut this account down, if you will. And then I'll still carry swing and futures. Futures for a while. I'll carry futures until we're probably in this zone down here, and then my swing trade I'll just carry throughout the year. But then I wanted to get back into some trade experiments with some small accounts and some different things, and show you guys some new stuff that could be really fun to do. But I don't want to do those until these accounts hit those targets. I don't have enough time as it is to even trade my futures account. So I want to get these in, show you the growth, and then do that. And I totally screwed up today with that huge loss. So, all right, let's get on to the good news. Good news. There's good news at the end of this. All right, so here's my my tracker, one of my trackers in that I program, so I can track what's going on. So I've added JD to the mix, and I'm going to show you the charts in JD and talk about how I'm going to trade it. So for my students, they can, if they're going to add this to their portfolio as well, they can see what I'm doing. So JD is so far looking like it will be the best ticker that I have traded in years. This is on top of like the worst trading day I've had in years. With an 89% success rate right now at JD. So this morning I woke up and I said, I'm gonna see $1,000 today because JD, I'm gonna go in big. I'm going straight to 500 on JD with this kind of win rate. I'm definitely going in big. And JD was coming off of a flat day today. It was a winner. So JD's coming off a flat day. So I was like, I am going $500 on JD, and then we'll do 150 risk reward and everything else. And I'm going to do a grand today. That's what I was convinced of. I just didn't think it was going to be a red grand. Well, I was late to the party, didn't get JD, and it was a winner. So that's a huge disappointment because now we had our green, and now tomorrow I can't go big on JD because it might be flat or it might be a loser. But as soon as we get a loser, I'm going to go huge on JD. We never have two in a row. So I'm going big tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but after our loser. But tomorrow we'll just be at our 150. But look at the success rate of JD. It's awesome. Let me show you the chart and show you how I'm going to trade it. All right, so here's JD. So the way we're going to trade JD is this. So it's a little messy, but you can see it. So we have our switch right here. It has to switch during the trading day. So switches right here. and then our switch we're purple starting the day. Yeah. So let me zoom in. This is probably a bad example because it's hard to see. There we go. All right, so we have our switch to the short side, and then our switch back is what we're trading. So in the switch back, we jump in looking for our 1R target, and a lot of times it'll boost right through, and we'll get more than 1R. We'll get to squeeze more out. A lot of times JD gives opportunities to squeeze more out. So that's how we're trading JD on the switch back. So let's talk about how we're doing our stops. So we're doing our stops. Let's zoom out so we can find this faster. I'm going to go to a losing trade so you can see it. The grays are break-even trades, and the greens are winning trades. So, and then purple is, you'll see what purple is when we get there. So let's find a losing trade. So we could talk about, there's only 4, I think, in here in 90 days. Pretty awesome. So where are you, loser? But either way, you can see as I'm scrolling through all the greens and grays, you can get an idea of what JD's doing. I mean, looks so nice, right? So here we have our thing. Boom. We have our switch. And then now we have a nice little... See, this is an example of like squeezing more out. You don't want to get greedy. Let me show you. Because that could happen, right? Like, it's a winning trade, but if we get greedy, that slide can happen afterwards. So you have to be careful. But there's always opportunities to squeeze a little bit more out or a lot more out of JD. But yeah, and it trades almost every single day in the last 90 days. So for traders who need to, you know, for like me, I want to, if I'm sitting in my office, I want to have something to trade. And I can feel pretty good that JD is going to give me something. All right, so here we are. So we have our switch to the long side, switch back, jump in, comes up, speed bump on that. And now where am I going to put my stop? Normally we put our stop where the algo has our stop, right? Except with JD, I don't trade it. I'm not trading it that way. Basically, we have our low, and then we have our high, and we have our higher low. I'm going to put my stop here. I want to see it make a lower low. So that's my stop. We would have just got stopped out, and it would have went up and could have made money. So, I mean, and maybe we wouldn't have gotten stopped out. It depends on the spread, and also depends on the, you know, what was happening, ETB. So it's easy to borrow. Just wanted to pop that up. Always look up there, traders, if you're going to be shorting stocks as well. Is it ETB or HTB if you're using Thinkorswim? So ETB, easy to borrow, means I can short. So anyway, so, you know, this is possible that it wouldn't have gotten stopped out depending on what the Q was like and what the spread was like. You know, down here we have a decent spread right now, but who knows what that was. So I'm just putting it as a red trade, even though this might have been a green trade. So let's go looking for some more reds so you can see more on the stop out, and let's find the purple so I can tell you how I'm going to do that. So red right here. So we have our long, and then we have our switch back. We're in, but it's red just because it didn't really go anywhere, but we would have closed, you know, in the red a little bit. So tiny red. So out of the 4 reds that are on here, one of them is really small. 4 reds, right? Let me look at my log real quick. Make sure I give you the right information. 3, 4, 5 reds. One of them is really small. All right, so let's keep going. Right here. Okay, so we have our switch right here to the long side. Switch back. We're in. Comes down. Then psych. Just kidding. Comes back up. We get stopped out. Speed bump in it. So now where's the stop going to be on the speed bump? We have our low. We have a high, higher low. Stop goes right there, and we get stopped out for like 1.5 our risk loss, which is okay because we had a lot of trades where we get more than 1 times our rewards to pay for those little extras. And when you have like an 89% winning days, then 89% of my days are going to be winning. It's fine, like totally fine. So let's see here. Break-even days, and a lot of those break-even days are profit days as well, but just not enough for me to want to count it in the success. So here we are with our switch to the long side, and then we switch back, we're in, then it comes back up, speed bump out. Again, we have our low, we have our high, higher low. I'm putting my stop just above this higher low, and then we're getting stopped out for a pretty decent stop out here, like 1.25, 1.5 R again. But like I said, we make up for it in the squeezing more out, so it doesn't really matter. And then my very next trade, I can just boost my share size, and my account won't even notice it because JD doesn't have too many losers. So then here's purple. All right, so right here we have our switch to the short. So now once it switches back, we're in. And then when it comes back down, you know, so we're in, so we're into the long side, but then we get hit on the speed bump. Let me open this up a little bit. Okay, so here's the purple. So here we have our short that it switched to. So on the switch back, we're going to trade it. So we're jumping in right here. So now once this comes back down, we get speed bumped and we speed bump out. So it's like bummer. So now we're short on this trade. So we have our low and then we have our high and then we have our low. So we're putting our stop just above this high right here, not at this level, but just above the high. So we never get stopped out. It almost comes back up on the speed bump to get us out. But then it comes back down to break even. So once it comes back down to break even though, like almost gets us out, and then we can get break even plus a couple bucks on the speed bump, then we're looking to exit that trade. Remember, speed bump is just to recover a little bit of our money, not all of our money. So if I got greedy and I stayed in, I got scared again, then I had one more chance in this zone to make a little bit of that money back and get out. So purple, it's really a red day, but it's a reduced red from what the planned red was. So we got it purple, but that's how I trade that. So the thing is, like, traders, like if it's gonna speed bump and then almost get me stopped out, it's time to look for a break even plus a few dollars. Definitely don't want to get greedy because it could be in consolidation, and then you run out of time in the day. You see that happen to me on YouTube, where just the day runs out of time. So all right, so let's go. We got, I think, one more red in here to look at. In the meantime, you get to see all the greens and grays in the chart. So if you're thinking about adding this to your portfolio, you can see what I discovered. So there is, nope, that's it. All right, so there's the 90 days on JD. So all good. All right, traders.